In relation to restrictions, I'm pleased to say that Dr. Chant today was able to confirm that from Friday morning, so a minute past midnight on Friday morning, that we will be able to revert back to the 2 square metre rule in New South Wales, with the exception of gyms, which are always succumb to the 4 square metre rule. So hospitality venues, functions, events will be able to go back to the 2 square metre rule, both indoors and outdoors, from Friday. And also the only setting where masks will remain compulsory is on public transport. So from Friday, hospitality workers, people attending places of worship won't need to mandatorily or forcefully wear a mask, but we do retain the advice to strongly recommend that if you're especially in an indoor setting where you can't guarantee social distancing, you should be wearing a mask, especially if you are a vulnerable person, someone with low immunity, someone who is regarded as higher risk. In those indoor settings in particular, if you can't guarantee social distancing, we do strongly recommend the use of a mask. So from Friday morning, a minute past midnight, New South Wales will revert back to the 2 square metre rule. New South Wales will advise that only public transport is compulsory for mask wearing, and that includes taxis and Ubers. And gyms remain at the 4 square metre rule, and the caps on weddings and funerals also remain at 300 at this stage. So, of course, we are concerned with what's going on in Victoria. New South Wales Health has already put in mitigations around checking people in New South Wales who may have come or stayed in proximity to that hotel during that period of time. So we are concerned with what's occurring in Victoria. We know it's a moving issue, which is why the restrictions we're easing on Friday are what we anticipated, but anything beyond that will require further consideration. And I know many organisations and groups will be again contacting us today wanting further easing of various parts of society or community, but we will assess that based on the risk that's occurring elsewhere. I also did want to state that New South Wales, whilst we have increasing numbers of people coming in from Monday through Sydney Airport, and whilst we do have the more contagious strains of the virus becoming more prominent, that it's really important for us to stay vigilant. We want to mitigate against what we call super spreading events. So please appreciate and respect why we continue to say no dancing, no singing, no mingling. So if you're having a drink at a bar, please be seated. If you're going to a wedding, only 20 guests can dance. If you're attending any event where they're singing, it's limited to 5 people. But of course, we're always looking at opportunities into the near future where we can relax some of those things. But our main aim at the moment is to allow the economy to bounce back as much as it can, and we are seeing really positive signs in New South Wales, but also, of course, keeping the community safe. And what we're wanting to avoid is a super spreading event which saw us have to take the decisions we did on the northern beaches just before Christmas, and that's always a risk. And as I always say, no matter what rules you have in place for quarantine, no system is perfect. People can boast about their various systems, but at the end of the day, no system is perfect. It involves thousands of people on a daily basis being vigilant, doing the right thing,